Back into the two.
You posted in the chat.
I'm about to in just a second. Yeah, I might do it. Oh man, what a time this is about to be right here. All right. This is about to be fun.
Gotta give the people what they want, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's perfect. It's perfect. Like the start of the season, all that.
Yeah. Kenny said I was being too humble, so
Kenny said you was being too humble.
I had to come here on here out of respect.
Oh man, well, you already know you this is just as much your floor as it is mine. Say damn, we there. And got that, got the volume up. It's season number 3. Oh man. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the show. Your favorite Madden show, featuring your workhorse's favorite workhorse. But this ain't about me today. It's about look to my left real quick. Can you just look to my left real quick? Yeah, I'm live. I'm in Houston. You know, we ready. I ain't gonna be in the draft, but trust you, me, I'm ready. I'm ready. And we're gonna talk about me later. This ain't about me. This has been a long time in the making, y'all. Like, you look at from before the cycle even began and what the conversations that ensued then, fast forward 6-7 months, look to my left. Look at the jewelry. Hey, some might say he the best. Some might say he the best in the league right now. And really, when I look at this trophy case, Madden 23 results, can we really argue? I'm gonna leave that for y'all. My job is to introduce to you the former Green Bay Packer, the former Houston Texan, and now here we are, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers owner in Madden, Nike Talk Madden history, and a two-time world champion, back-to-back. And I got it on good word. I got on his word. He finna do it again. So what y'all gonna do about it? My pleasure to introduce Mr. Mikey L, man. What's up, champ? How's it going?
Yo, it feels good to be here, you know. Just happy. Tampa's been treating me well. The sun's been shining, the rain's been glowing. Like, it's just Tampa looks good on me, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, can nobody argue you lost how many games a cycle? 3?
2 games in 2 seasons. It's like a 94% win percentage. Pretty crazy. I'm glad too you brought up the beginning too, like the narratives that were starting in the beginning of the season. Because I remember when we were put out those polls, a lot of the talk in the beginning was like, where do I kind of rank really? I think it was mixed. It was a part of this like kind of me being kind of new. It was only my 3rd Madden technically, really.
Right.
So I feel like no one really knew how good I was. I had the really good year with the Packers, I felt like, you know.
Yeah.
I technically won 1 Super Bowl, technically. I know nobody wants to give it to me, but it's fine. But I went to 3 that year. I lost to Kobe and I lost to Mays one time.
Yeah.
But the narrative in the beginning of the season was definitely like, you know, where is he really? I remember C's even saying like, yo, there's a lot of pressure on Mikey this year. Like, everybody was talking. I was like, oh, I just sat back and just like listened to everything, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a lot of hoopla early on. You know, some from others and even some from myself, because you know mine was just more so a competitive challenge to you, being that you know our histories over the past you know few Maddens, certainly maybe not Madden 20, because I don't think or Madden 21, but Madden 20 and now it's been kind of intertwined. Like you came in the league, we were battling for the NFC crown. We alternated. You took it, then I took it, then you took it. And then
3 years in a row we met in the NFC championship.
We had
Crazy.
a whole trilogy. My only wish was that the third game was able to go in full, but you were up.
What happened there again? Something happened, right?
You were up 12-0. My shit was tripping out, but that's not a discredit to you. You were playing a better game. It would have been on me to have come back, and I think I could have, but ultimately, I couldn't take whatever was going on with the internet, and that was the last game I played in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was in Wisconsin, I suppose.
Yeah. So if you were like Marcus somebody or like somebody, I don't know, whoever, you could have said something like, yeah, you sent me back to the East Coast and then sent me all the way out west. Like,
I should have said that.
and hopefully, I'm not supplying you with more ammo, but you take it from back then. And then now, but like you said, like it was a lot of talk about, is Mikey really real? Like how good is he? And I think, well, I don't think you've shown it. You definitely shown it. But my challenge, to you was, to win. Like I need to see the confetti falling, right? Because technicalities are one thing, but I know, like, just in circles of the league, they're gonna talk about it a certain way, and but they can't. These two right here, they can't dispute them. So all that to say, I did say, and I did it before, but I didn't do it with you actually on here. It's like everybody else. Like if I lay out something and somebody does it, I'd be right on here to say congratulations. So you the top dog right now. How does it feel?
And it feels good because I definitely took it personal. Just wanting to I knew that there was somewhat of an asterisk around that Super Bowl with Mays. That's how it ended. It was just mad weird and shit like that. So I took it personal this year to just kind of win it all. And the Bucks just kind of lined up perfectly for me.
Sure did.
But even though, because I feel like there's another underlining merit to getting started where I have a good team. So I'm naturally winning, which I don't think is necessarily true. You look around the league, there's other teams with Bills, Chiefs, fucking Ravens, whoever, with really good teams who aren't making the playoffs like that. So it's also, I don't want it to be said that it's just the team. It's part user, part team. It's both. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm glad we're kind of getting into this early because that's what I was going to say. You look at it like this last Super Bowl, right? Tampa Bay. Let's go back to the draft real quick. Then we'll talk about the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay fell to you at 13, right? We had the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Cardinals, the Eagles, the Browns, the Jets, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bengals, Falcons. I think that was maybe not in that order necessarily, but that was order for you. I'm hello? I
don't think nobody wanted Tom Brady. Nobody wanted to deal with that contract, I think. Just the 1 year of Tom Brady, I don't think nobody wanted that.
It reminded me of when, way back, this is I was a few Maddens before you joined, but when Jose got the Seahawks, and the Seahawks then are kind of what Tampa was, at the start of this cycle. And it's just they're going to have maybe 1 to 2 real obstacles if the right player gets them. And if that right player gets them, and you did, in this case, just cruise, basically, outside of a couple games here, like Jeremy Mays, but outside of that, just cruise to the ship.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. No, I was just thinking the first season was I knew from the get-go that season, if I had Tom Brady in the Bucks, I had to go all in for the championship. So my season goal was fucking make the Super Bowl. It was nothing else. I had all in. I was zoned in watching freaking Bucks YouTube videos about like Super Bowl runs and
Oh yeah, you keeping it.
keep me motivated to like win the chip.
Oh yeah, nah,
I was
that's
dead locked
real.
into win the chip, yeah. And I knew the first season too, I was gonna face Jeremy in that NFC championship. I just knew it was brewing. It just felt like early 2002 Rondé Barber picking on
Facts.
Donovan McNabb or some shit.
100%. That's
Yeah.
what that's what I felt like. I mean, granted, I like for me, I'm too I don't want to use that word. I'm too invested. So where like whenever my season ends, I don't watch the rest. I can't.
That's fair.
But
That's
I
fair.
do like I didn't watch the Super Bowl last week. I know the score and all that. I didn't watch it, but I do remember watching I was actually right over there. And I was watching a bit of you and Jeremy's first NFC championship in that season 1, and it went to overtime and all that. And then I had to cut it off. It was just I just couldn't. But you make a good point though in that like granted, you got the best team you could have gotten at 13.
Mhm.
And you did exactly what you were supposed to do with them both years. But it's all like you said, and I agree with this in full. Like it's also not that cut and dry to where it's like, oh, whoever gets a great team, they automatically gonna be good. Like you said, we with Kansas City. Hell, we saw Chargers Mark and props to him on a tremendous season. Because I don't think, I would say this.
No one thought he'd probably be in the Super Bowl this year.
Right. Granted,
there's in the beginning of the season.
Right. Yeah. And there's a massive elephant in the AFC room because the top seed wasn't there. But aside from that, Mark was playing tremendous football the whole time. In season 1, he wasn't playing nearly to that level. He was making mistakes. Herbert throwing 6, 7 picks. Like when Mark refined his game and just calmed down and just start making the plays, like kind of like how you just like, I feel like you always going forward in the field. I can't remember the last time I seen you like have like a tremendous loss of yardage on a single play. Like you're always going forward, 3 yards, 30 yards, it don't matter.
Staying ahead of the chain.
Marcus doing the same thing. So that's props to him too. But yeah, but that just goes to say like just because you got a good team, there are examples like you, Jeremy. Obviously, that team is elevating him. It's not. I mean, but he's doing his thing. Reggie.
I was surprised he lost to Mays though. I'll be honest. I thought he was going to beat Mays in this previous game season. I thought he was going to beat Mays, but then I realized Mays was locked in last season. He's probably ahead of schedule than he would even think for himself. I would say. Right now.
I think Mays proved why he's the greatest of all time in this league. Like just off of last season, like he out there with the Bears. Now, granted, like the Bears are kind of like in Texans territory in terms of
it's a lot of to rebuild and shit like that.
Yeah, like they got a little more firepower as far as like top level players, like just off of Khalil Mack alone. But now, like what he was doing with them, like I'd always thought he's the best, the greatest in terms of the league. But even though you beat him in the NFC Championship, I still think it's like a notch under his belt to an extent to even have gone that far with him. But
that's another reason why I feel like this run has been so great because like I feel like I've beaten some good people in like great moments. Like even if we go back to last year when I played Reggie in the Super Bowl, it was just like, even though he was already talking trash to me before he even knew he was playing me, anything like that, he was already talking trash to me and all this stuff. So I wasn't even worried about it. But even though I already beat him in Cleveland, came back from down 21 points, but in his house. But and then went to the Super Bowl and held him to half his scoring average. But it was just one of those things where I remember listening to him get in the season and his name, May's name, Dave naming in that top 3 and being like, I'm going to all 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
and I feel like I've already had like this little rivalry with Mays, I guess you can call it per se. I don't know, or battle. It was really more one-sided, but recently it's been on my side, one of the last 2 out of 3. And I knew that path of like in the playoffs for me would be the hardest, facing Phil and then Mays, just because both their gameplays just give me like, I don't know, it's just that should be annoying sometimes playing the both of them. Like Phil, for instance, like you know what he's gonna do every time. And
Right.
even though you know he's gonna do it, and the one time you think he's not gonna do it, he just does it still and blitzes you like the fucking trips or like some wild shit. It's like he's a fucking price. He's always gonna do the same thing over and over again. It's like, yes, he's doing that.
Yeah. You now I'm gonna tell you though, also just beyond the team, beyond the championships, where the moment in which I gain like always respected your game, still do. But the moment where that even elevated, forget the Super Bowl, that don't even matter. Like I look at the championship as like, see, because it's a difference.
Mhm.
I think a lot of the chat, and this is why I'm glad. This is why I'm glad to have done this show and to bring the show back and to keep doing it. And I want to get back to just like one-to-one interviews type of thing, like how we were doing before the cycle started. But the reason why I'm glad we're doing this is because I've realized that in my long-windedness, and granted, that's just who I am. It ain't changing. Oh well, right? But in my long-windedness, I realized that I either A, think the complete opposite of 98% of the chat, or B, which B might be even more true, because of my long-windedness, people don't really get the full gist of my points. But when I make them, it's like they don't hear them. And then
What do you mean?
later, people say the same thing. I'm just like, oh, you finally caught up? So I say that to say, even throw the Super Bowl out, right? Like you could have 0 championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the moment in which I was like, it really hit me, like, yeah, like Mikey, real. When I'm not going to disclose the game we kicked it. We just sat back and just watched. I'm not going to disclose which game it was, but it was one of his games. But the way he just dissected each play, like thinking it through, talking it through, like Manning cast style, but we're just watching it, in like a retrospective manner. Just talking it through, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, he really one of them. He really one of them guys, like one of them guys for real. Now you one of them guys with the hardware.
Yeah, that's a good point too, low key, because I
Yeah.
knew this season like I had to get a little better at like progressing through my reads. I feel like quicker, like knowing when it comes to the line, what to look at, like the safeties and the corners, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, and knowing where to attack has been like one like this. Getting better at that has helped me so much, and like I feel like it matters.
Yeah. The last time we shared a conference, it wasn't like that. Not to that degree.
Yeah.
Like I would kind of, I mean, even though like there's parts of your game that have still translated to now, like and you're still doing well.
Right.
You still run the rock effectively. Fournette, bro, like
Fournette's been balling.
No, I hate that man. Like, only played it one time, and I hate dude, man. But then again, we got
X factor this season.
Yeah, we got ran over by Eckler, by Kerm's running back. I don't know what happened the last like 3 weeks on defense. I have no clue. But it's X factor season. I didn't have one.
Yeah. Did you kind of go in heavy on like run defense this offseason?
Well,
like through free agency. I know you have the free agency thing.
Well, for me, the thing was like the way I was going to attack it this time around. I knew like I don't have time to wait on kids to grow up. Not all of them, not the whole defense. Like I got a lot of young linebackers. My secondary is relatively young, but that front four, nobody on the front four from the end of that season is bad. Like, and it's no different than when I was playing you, and I saw my former quarterback throw 2 interceptions. I took him out. Okay, cool. Y'all want my job? Yeah. All right, cool. Like I'm not going to trick because it is what it is, and I got moves to make, and I made a move that I feel truthfully is going to get me to the Super Bowl. But
do you think you can't you can't let them like progress because there's only gonna be one more season left? Or do you think
like I don't have enough time to like elevate them when and here's also the thing. Let me actually separate those points. I'll get that in a second. But I don't have the time to, get a rookie to like his third year when he's like a star, superstar. Plus you add in like everybody gunning for these records and tanking and stat pad and all that. Like I'm not playing them games. I never played them games. The two things I don't have in this league, MVP and Super Bowl. And it's the MVP part is largely because of the tanking. I mean, that's the pattern.
I'm surprised you don't have an MVP with Cam Newton or something.
Well, I was on my way, but me and I think I want to say it was Mark, the OG Mark, and we were supposed to play week 17. We did not, and
I remember that. Yeah,
and they made the man throw 5 picks, bro. Like he was MVP until he made him throw 5 picks, and then they give it to Kenny and Dak Prescott, knowing he can't pass for real. Like, come on, man! Like
Kenny got like 5 MVP low key though.
Crazy. He's like Jokic. Like on the MVPs, the numbers look good, but you get to the second round of playoffs. Where you at? But and also Kenny, my bad for missing you last time you was out here, but we'll get that one back. But yeah, that's only 2 things I'm missing, and I think a lot of it, especially now, is just because like players are just like people are just going insane with these players. Like
that is true. It has been like crazy. Like the stats recently, like the 16 receptions and 50 touchdowns. We had 3 players break the rushing title, the rushing record for one season.
Right. I'm like, come on, man. Like, what's going on here? You got how you got a running back with like 2,300 yards, and you got 2 or 3 wins. Make it make sense. I hate it.
Now the tanking has been a little. I thought this has been in the 3 years I've been 3 Mads I've been here. This has been the most obvious tanking. I feel for a lot of people like across the board, even people who I never really thought would be tanking, or like people who are kind of are really good players. And I'm like, wow, that 3 wins, like 2 wins.
Yeah, it's like my thing is,
was it for draft picks? It just feels weird. Like you just waste 2.5 months for one player.
I couldn't tell you. Like for complete transparency purposes, because the show is no Wellin, I'm not going to sit here and lie. When I initially picked Houston, I was on a plane, come back to LA. When I consciously picked the Houston Texans, and I had a plan, I was like, first year, I'm gonna just drop the games, right? Give me a great draft pick. By the time preseason got here, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, I won't be able to look myself in the mirror again if I do that. I can't do it. Like I will take getting just our doors blown off half the season opposed to tanking. Like, oh, and dare I mention running? Like, I mean, I just don't. And this is just me, because I know everybody's gonna have their opinions, and a lot of them aren't gonna necessarily align with what I gotta say, and that is a-okay. Because I'm gonna say what I gotta say anyway. But the tanking, the running, the overstorm brave, and all the corny things that y'all do, I don't respect it, bro. I don't respect it at all. And also there should be like this like feeling that I gathered through the chat, like when a player wins a Super Bowl, and this is why I can appreciate you and how you're going about it. When a player wins a Super Bowl, it's like finished. No, you're not. No, you're not. Absolutely not. Because we're gonna keep it real today. I ain't got much time, but I got enough time for you to, to have your moment in the sun. But we gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I would much rather be a Damian Lillard than an Adam Morrison. Meaning, I would much rather stay in one city, maybe two. Like if I'm in Carolina, I'm going back to Houston. I love Houston. Everything about Houston is like Houston found me at the right time in life to where I can put my heart and soul into this game, into this team. Like everything I said this year in this cycle, in every press conference, everything, ain't nothing left in the tank. Like I bring it every single week. Now, what happens, whether it's good or bad, but it's not for a lack of effort. But there's always a thing where like, a guy wins one Super Bowl and then it's just like, oh, I'm in the history. I'm a quote unquote Hall of Famer.
What? I wanted to ask you that too. Like, how many people in the league have gone back to back in the season? I assume it's only a couple when I think I know who they are. But
Mays for sure.
Davis, I know Mays definitely. Okay.
Did Jose do it? No, Jose did it in consecutive cycles, but not, I don't think consecutive years.
Okay. It's a hard thing to do.
I did it the wrong way, and Phil did it the wrong way too. We went back to back and lost both times. So there's that. And I don't think I'm forgetting nobody. I think it's just been them two, and they had, in Mays and Dave, they had crazy runs, but yeah, everybody else, I think it's just been like kind of like one, and then somebody wins the next one. So I also think one of either Mays or Dave won 3 in a row. I think Mays might have done it.
Okay.
But I had to ask him, or we'd have to ask him, because I don't I can't remember that one for sure. But yeah, like I respect the fact that it's just like you're still you proverbially keeping the foot on people's necks, because I mean that's how it should be. Like, okay,
yeah. I mean, I wasn't even going to try hard for the second one until I seen someone type in, "You're not going to do it again." I was like, okay, now I have to do it again. I have to do it again. Because you retired that QB, oh, they're not going to do it again. Oh, really? Okay, cool. I have to.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, I'm going to paint the picture for you. So it's draft day, the last draft, right? And I had 2 first-round picks. Obviously, number 1, I picked the quarterback Keelan Mays. Number 2, so my second draft pick was like picked number like 29 or something. Or maybe it was 31. It might have been Reggie's pick. Whatever.
I think you had Reggie's pick.
Yeah, I think I did.
In the Deshaun Watson trade, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm sitting here. I use a full minute 30. I'm like, all right, what do I do? Do I do what I'm supposed to do? Protect my quarterback by supplying him. I had 3 first-round picks, actually.
Yeah, crazy.
My quarterback by selecting him a second offensive line in the round? Or do I double up at quarterback? Your quarterback, Luke Paul, was there. And it was, for me, it was between him and my right tackle, who just gets obliterated now. But he's young. We'll take the good.
It happens. Yeah, you gotta develop him.
Yeah, and it's just like I wasn't in the position to take 2 quarterbacks, but I wish I was, because that would have been going for premium draft capital right now. But then also, my offensive line would have been kind of wrecked. But then you took him, and he was a superstar, and I was like, oh well. So brings me to ask you this: what was the difference? Like, how were you feeling with the before the Rebirth League? Like the first season too. I think we were 6-3, about to head into our game. Like, what was the difference between that team and this team?
It was the QB for sure. Norman McCullough was his name. He fucking sucked. He was a normal dev. He was fucking horrible. Because sometimes you got the normal QB, you can't even put the little L2 modifier to throw the ball. Like I gotta time it fucking perfectly. Like throw like outside the numbers. I fucking never timed correctly. That should be horrible. And then fucking with Luke Paul, he was a hidden dev, and then he got the fucking, because the league broke, he got the fucking upgrade. So then he got the X superstar already at the beginning of the season. It was just like, okay, we zoned in now. We got to. We got the young QB. Like, I put the visor on him. He's well done.
Man, that dude, nah, he's good. And when you got him and you post him, I was like, well.
But your guy's the star though, right? Your guy was the star though, wasn't he?
He was actually a normal. He was technically the best quarterback in the draft, like just starting out, but he was only a normal. And I was between Kerm's quarterback Bullard, B Dolphins B took the other kid.
He's nice too. Not Dickerson, but the other guy.
Yeah, and Steelers B took the best the true best quarterback in the draft.
He's nice as well.
And shout out to him too, because you see, this is how I know I'm not crazy. This is how I know I'm not crazy. Look at B season 1, Steelers B. Season 1, 71 picks. That might be underselling it. 70, 80 picks with Kenny Pickett. And look at season 2. He got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool burning by everybody.
This 51 touchdowns by Dickerson.
Yeah, quarterback is just crazy. George Pickens, I think, is a star, a superstar himself. Plus the defense.
Claypool X factor.
People cannot tell me. They can try to tell me whatever they want. I'm just not hearing it because I know it's not true because I see it every week. People cannot tell me that X factors don't matter in this game. Superstars don't matter in this game.
Well, it definitely matter. It definitely matter. They definitely matter. But you still have to know how to use them, and you got there's ways to develop players to get to those levels. Like you look at Chris's guy, I can't remember his name or whatever, but that normal rookie who signed off Titans practice squad.
Chestnut.
He had him to Chestnut. Yeah, he had him to I think he had him by X factor by the end of the season, something like that.
It's crazy.
There's definitely ways to progress players though and kind of even the playing field. But I know it's probably way harder when you have a team of the Texans. I remember when I had the Texans with Deshaun Watson, that defense was horrible. I couldn't stop anything on defense.
Man, now I've gotten lucky but I sit here and say I've gotten lucky, but it's cost me draft capital. I feel like this.
You got Justin Fields now.
Listen.
Different expectations, probably.
Listen.
What's the thinking behind that trade? I saw that trade. It kind of threw me off a little bit.
Well, the trade was never an idea, but I come away from every single loss I've taken in this cycle, because the teams I'm losing to are the loaded teams. I got swept by Indianapolis. And all Ty gotta do is just play 2-man under, just sit there and hope the safety don't, hope his 92 speed, 98 acceleration safety that he's using can go back and just defend the pass with Gilmore or Ramsey either. So there's that. I got swept by Indianapolis. I lost to Cleveland. I lost to Pittsburgh, the loaded Pittsburgh Steelers. I lost to Mark Chargers in the playoffs. So I got swept by the Colts. Who else did I lose to? I took a sim loss to Will in the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm
looking at if you ain't got all them X's and stars up under you, you're gonna be in trouble. But if you do, you might, I'm gonna be up a little bit against it. And I gotta play perfect. And if I don't play perfect, then what's gonna happen?
It's a little harder.
Usually, what happens?
Yeah, it's a little harder. Yeah, I can see that. But now you have an X factor QB. It's you can start to take
I'm telling you this on the record, and whoever else hears it, they hear it. I don't care. Because what I got to lose? I only need one X factor. I got him at the right position. And I tell you this, I legitimately feel like I'm about to be in Super Bowl season 3. I straight up do. Because I never had a superstar quarterback. I never had an X factor quarterback. Throwing 20 picks in the season, let alone 40, 50, 60.
True.
So I'm like, let me just develop these guys, these guys up front. My rookie offensive lineman from last year. I don't have a first round pick this year. I'm not even drafting this year.
Really?
I'm just
going to get the game.
Yeah. I'm gonna let the computer do what they do. We gotta go to the Staples Center soon. But my defense, though, defense is the defensive line, got a whole new defensive line. My linebackers, I love my linebackers. I love 48 in the middle. I love Ronald Peak. I love Blake Cashman on the side, 90 speeds everywhere. What y'all going to do? Listen, I promise you this. I ain't never give no 550 rushing yards combined in 2 weeks. That shit not happening again.
That happened to you?
Kerm wrecked me running the ball.
Like, he did run it down your throat. Paul.
He wrecked me. I was like, bro, where is my defense? Where the defense at? And I was just like, it was to the point that now the best thing that happened was Steelers beat quarterback getting injured before whatever happened with his game versus Dez. Because I saw his quarterback go down, and me being in the playoffs already, I was like, nah, that's off. I'm not about to play around with you and get,
he called the bet off.
More behind the eight ball playing against the Chargers, because I knew I was probably playing Mark anyway. I'm not about to be behind the eight ball any more than I already am. On the road, same stadium, Joey Bosa, Austin Eckler, et cetera, et cetera. Like, bro, I'm sitting my guys unless you got something to play for. But this, nah. But had I not, I've been paying that man $200. So, I ain't mad at anybody that's mad at it. Oh well, my pockets ain't mad. That's that. But
I'm giving Luke Paul the bag whenever he asks for it. Whenever he asks for it, we back on the Brinks truck.
I'll give Kerma an actual. We can actually run the bet back. But when I saw that, I was like, nah, I ain't playing around, because it's typical. It's programmed in the game, and it's been for years, where it's like the game will take away one of your best players for the playoff run. Week 15, 16, 17, and now week 18. But nah, give him credit though. He ran that ball. Like, it was to the point, I texted him after the game. I was like, bro, like, did you have your offensive line on aggressive? He was like, nah. And I was like, I look at Brandon Graham, like, okay, you retiring, so you about to get off the hook. I'm looking at John Grenard. I'm like, bro, you a captain, and you allowing this? I'm looking at Solomon Thomas. I see. This why I don't never listen to Nathan when he's talking to USC guys, because he's gone, and whoever the hell else was on the other side, I don't even remember. He gone too. So new defensive line, and then that same defensive line I just ran by you, got wrecked again by Austin Eckler in the playoffs. So I'm like,
that's the thing though. Like, a good run game, really, when you were game for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you look at my game versus me, like, I knew from the first game we played in the snow, the game got away from me, and then I came back and I looked at the stats. I'm like, I averaged like 7 yards a run. Why didn't I just keep running?
Exactly.
And so that second game, like, when we played in the conference championship, I was like, I'm just gonna run it every time until he can stop it. And he didn't stop it like once. I think I had like almost 300 yards that game.
Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette is the best quarterback not named Derrick Henry on this game. It's verified and it's proven. Like, and hell, he might be better than Derrick Henry, or I'll say same level as Derrick Henry. Because it's just like when we played, I'm like, okay. And he had a modest day versus me, but that's also only because your quarterback earned his X factor versus me. So there's that. But I can't lie and say that I didn't walk away feeling good. I was like, okay, we just, like, granted, we got steamrolled kind of like in that second half. But I was like, if we can hold Fournette and make him look pretty average. Like, we made Jonathan Taylor look pretty average. When I played Ty, like, we gonna be all right. But it's just something that happens it's at least one game every, like, late stretch of the season. Season 1, it was versus Bean. 7, I have no idea what happened to the defense. I have no idea. We went down, took the ball, scored the opening possession, and he ran 42 points after that. And I'm just like, where did y'all go? And now, and I knew, Mark, Chargers, Mark, like, I knew when Kerr was running like that, and I wasn't getting up at that 7th spot, I was like, I'm finna come to this stadium next year. Same old thing too. He's gonna try the same thing, and I'm not mad at it, because that's how. And I don't use this term towards Mark, But that's how the quote unquote copycat league should be. It shouldn't be like, oh, I see 30 players running over Storm Brave. Let me be player number 31. No, it should be like, okay, this guy getting destroyed in the trenches. I got Rashawn Slater. I got Austin Eckler. I got the weapons on the outside to keep him at bay anyway. Let me do the same thing because my team is better than his. And he's still on the road. He's still in my stadium, technically. Like, he followed that game plan to a T. Ain't nothing. Yeah, he just won. I was like, good, great game. What are you saying?
That's kind of how I was thinking when I played Mark II in the Super Bowl too. I was looking at the film for him, and I kept seeing that like if I could slow down Eckler on the inside run, I can maybe get some turnovers and probably do a couple of get a couple one-on-ones because he took a lot of cover high one, cover three, cover one,
right?
And all his safe, I noticed when I'm looking at his players, like all his cornerbacks are 5'10" and less. And I was like, yo, Mike Evans is 6'5". I'm like, okay, I can challenge these guys a little bit on the one-on-one. That's why I kept throwing in the Super Bowl. I kept trying to get that off.
Yeah,
I got it off. He got it off a couple of times, but I definitely saw that in the film. A lot of the winning comes from the preparation and watching the film and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
absolutely.
A lot of times.
Yeah, that's
like knowing your opponent.
Because that's kind of like how I like evaluate and see like who's like I look past the records because at this point in time it's like and it's what I wanted to touch on too. Like I'm gonna need it's just league in general. It's just my take, so whatever. I'm going to need work, real work, to re-enter the Nike Talk Madden ranks because a lot of y'all ain't working for real. Like a lot of y'all ain't working. I'm gonna just be honest. Like it's nothing to me to come out and I don't know by experience, but I know by seeing it and being against it. But it's like I'm not impressed generally with like people come out. You got like 4 stars on your offense, maybe an X here somewhere in the line, and then on the defense you got 2 X factors, another star, another more superstars somewhere, more stars under the feet, and I look at them like I'm not impressed generally. There are exceptions like. You, Chargers Mark, play tremendous.
Are you saying this because you think that they're making them win games by just having these good players?
Yeah, it's just easier. It's just way easier. It's like for example, I'm trying to think of a team, but I'm just looking at it like
I feel like you have to know how to put those players in position. Like even when we look at like the first season, like people were saying Kenny wasn't using Mike Parsons in the right position to really get
right. That's fair.
And then you see him in the second season, he put him in the outside linebacker position, and now he's getting or wherever he is, and getting mad sacks now. You know what I mean? So it's really
matters.
It's position that matters, but it's also like I'm saying, knowing where to put these players and where to make them succeed, what to call, how to develop them.
Yeah, like there's definitely like a what's the word I'm looking for? There's definitely like the intellectual aspect.
Yeah,
I'm a guy here, but a lot of times it's like, okay, if I got I'm trying to think, Daniil Hunter, for example. It's like, okay, cool. He superstar?
And then, maybe even X Factor.
Let me take it back. If I got like a Joey Bosa, for example, so that's like the only X Factor in I can think of right now, or Myles Garrett, somebody like that, and he's right there. It's like that's one less thing I got to worry about. Like I already know my pressure 90% of the time, week to week, is automatically generated the second number 99 or the second number 95 steps on the field. Number 52, Khalil Mack steps on the field.
Gotcha.
Whereas, like, if you don't have those guys, then at points in time, it's like God help you.
Yeah, you have to almost be more like scheming up better blitzes or coverages.
Yeah, like you gotta really like tap into whatever it is that you do. So I know the question was like, why did I go from you know, me, I probably play the most zone in the league,
Mhm.
but also I'm an adaptable player. Like if I acquire guys who allow me to mix things up and play some man, then what am I going to do? I'm gonna play man. Like I don't got no X's to rely on. I don't got no top level impact guys. Like I
Yeah.
got a scheme. I gotta kind of bait you into certain things and just went off of like the logistics of the controller itself, like the adjustments and all that. I can't just plug and play, and I got a superstar here, X Factor there. I got 3 on the line, and I got an X Factor coming back, and all I gotta do is not mess up. Oh, and the 12-12 rule is gone, so all I gotta do is not throw 12 times. I can throw 7 times and run 50. Like, make it make sense.
But there is still the, I think it's 70-30 rule now.
It is 70-30. That's a good point.
70.
But even then, it's like, is that even being met? I don't know. Like, I would love to be like I don't want to say enforcer, but I would love to be like the person that kind of like keeps tabs on that.
It'd be interesting to see you in the commissioner role, see how you would perform as a commissioner.
See, the last time now I haven't been a commissioner since the first cycle. But I think the difference, and this is what I was telling back when that whole conversation in the chat, maybe like about a month ago now. This is what I was conveying to Manny, but also like that was a conversation that shouldn't even happen on GroupMe because this is my problem. My problem, or one of them, is that it's so easy though. It's a universal thing, but it applies to me tremendously. Like GroupMe, you can't really like get the context of how the delivery of it. You just see the word. So like we were talking in August and all that, and people were making like a big thing. I'm just like, no, I'm not talking down to you. I'm not like berating you. I'm just saying like it'd be no different than we just our teams are playing and we just talking trash.
Talking shit, yeah.
Yeah, I think
nothing personal, of course.
Right,
but sometimes it can come across like that.
Exactly, because like there's no tone, there's no tonality to the messages. So I think that's kind of where me and Manny's thing kind of like it got to. I mean, it wasn't even that big a deal, but we kind of misunderstood what each other was saying. But when we talked on PSN, and I was just telling him, I was like, I know I was like 24 when I was a commish.
You were a commish before.
Yeah, very very first cycle, first cycle. But I was like everybody's first. Like we were in GroupMe, we just randomly assembled in GroupMe. So I'm kind of just like reading the room a little bit and just trying to like find my level as far as just where I fit in the chat and all that. And I think I kind of overcompensated by just being too quote unquote nice as a commish where you kind of can't be. Like you look at Chris, he does tremendous. C's is tremendous because they're those type of guys. But I got that in me too. I mean, I'm hella opinionated. I know everything that happens under the sun, even when I'm not around the chat as much. Like, so I mean, if it happens, it happens. But if it don't, it don't. But I do think though, and I don't even necessarily want a commission role, but just like something like to keep track of, and it's like to hold people accountable. Absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so that's something I had to take.
Let it be known. Let it be known. I got you.
Well, that too, but also like, because I've had like moments that, especially this year with Houston, because I think this year for some reason I don't know what it is, but I feel more like, or I should say, I feel just as I feel like there's a Carolina level of me taking the game personally, not personally, but like I want to win. I want to win.
Yeah.
And I want to be good. And I want to be everything that I say I am. And I feel like I am, but I'm also, I know I'm going uphill against it. I'm going upstream because of the personnel that I'm playing against largely. But I think when like Manny had made the point in that same discussion was like, only time I had like gotten like aggressive or like turned up was when somebody could, critique what was going on the field with me, which is like, but
is that true?
It's always been true. Like I be chill. I don't be until or unless somebody like irks me and like plays the counter card to the pride that I have playing for whatever team. I'd be chilling, but at the same time, I know how I play this game, and I play this game with a lot of passion, a lot of pride, and it gets the best of me sometimes. Like it does. So that was like with like Nako earlier and all that. Like nothing personal, but it's like you catch me in that moment. And sometimes my
you might say something wrong or some shit.
But I've been at it with everybody. Like I knew early in this cycle when me and Twan was going back and forth, I'm like, yeah, anybody finna get in there. Like, it's 5:23. Okay. Draft is at 6.
Are you good?
Taking it back to you for a bit, because you're the star of this show, not I. I'm just the host. Season 3, like you don't have to talk about the draft because the draft's going to start. But like schedule, like who are you looking to? Is there anybody left that you want to play against, and if so, who? This season.
That's a good question. I definitely want to play Reggie again because I was hoping to play him in the Super Bowl. I'm also hoping to play him again in the AFC North. I always like playing Maze. Those are always good games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to playing Jeremy. Jeremy's gameplay, I feel like it always matches up with mine so well. They're always like really close. Like every time I played him, they've always been 1-score games. Like even when like I was the Texans, he was like the Raiders. I remember I was doubting him up with Deshaun Watson. 100 yards. But he's a player I look forward to play all the time. I'm trying to think who else. Chris is always a good player fun player to play with. He's always scheming up some like crazy offense and passing game.
I love playing against Chris and Jeremy. Like I had a lot of fun. So late last season for me, I had a stretch of like OGs in the game. I played it was like Ty B, Steelers B, Chris, Flash. This is no particular order. Like them 4, and then Kerm is essentially an OG because he came in cycle 1. So having a stretch of them, that was like really fun. We didn't fare all that well. I think we won like 2 out of those, but yeah, I mean it was fun. Like, but yeah, like the Jeremys and yourself, you're always fun to play against. Now I haven't played. If this is the only time I play Maze these days, is the Super Bowl. I haven't played Maze in like 3.5 years. I hadn't played Steelers B in like 5 before our game a few weeks ago. Also, thanks B, because you got a new phone because I broke the last one. But but again, it's pride gone wrong sometimes, but I accept it.
I'm also looking forward to playing. I want to see like if Dave like comes back, see how good he will be. He should be. The NFC should be a little more competitive this year. I think him, the guy we play. His name is Chris from Atlanta. On PSN, he's called Him University. I think he could. Hold on. He could be pretty good.
That's wait. We got a lot of Chris's in here. We got Chris. Yeah. We got myself.
Chris from New Orleans.
Yeah. God, man, it's full. That's wild. But yeah, man, welcome to see, hold on, time out though. Because we know how the term him, right, is in sport these days. I can't call him yet. So for now, we're gonna call him HU. Now, this is a play on you also, and I'm glad you're here for it. We're going to see, can Him University, HU, can he earn the title of the real HU?
I think it'll be competitive. And that division, I think will be competitive.
Yes.
10 wins that division.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I briefly, it's funny because we in the 2K chat, I was just telling him this morning because he had asked about a trade, but then like he couldn't make it because he used all his trades.
He's been trading everybody.
Yeah,
he didn't ship everything up.
I should have made a move on Greenlaw, but I don't think I got the money for that no more. But yeah, I just briefly talking to him like welcome to the league, all that good stuff. And yeah, it seems like he's gonna be a good fit. Like,
yeah, I think he'll be good. He'll definitely talk his shit if he'll win too. I think.
Oh yeah, that's great then.
Yeah.
See, like all this time in the 2K chat, I don't think we had ever like knowingly talked to each other, but it's cool. Like him, like all like the new additions, Chad.
He's definitely a competitor.
Even I mean, Greg is like here now, but he was new this year, and he been tremendous for the league. So yeah,
Greg sucks in Madden, but he's good for the league.
Oh, he's great for the league. Like he's absolutely great for the league. Like is hilarious.
So eventually, I think like he's good at games. So like I think he'll like when he gets good, everybody's gonna be like, oh shit, he's good. But like I'm like, but knowing he's good at games, I'll be like, I won't be surprised on it. To see he's good at Madden eventually.
And also, he in a pretty tough division because he got you and then he got Graves. And then if Jesus is on this game, then that's something else to deal with. But like we're gonna see though. I want to see what HU talking about. I want to see what Chaz is talking about. Like they got good teams. They're in. I would say before Mark made the Super Bowl, I would say they're in pretty competitive divisions. HU definitely.
Oh, yeah, true. Chaz, I haven't played with Chaz, but I've heard he's kind of a good player.
Okay. Well, yeah.
For him to have the Chiefs, I think maybe a little bit of a jump start for him too.
Yeah,
so that's somebody to look out for too. And the AFC, I feel like the AFC, personally, from my opinion, is very open. Like I feel like a lot of people could win it.
AFC,
like, of course you have the Browns at the top,
right?
But I don't know how much he'll be into it this season or whatnot, something like that. So the AFC right now could be anybody. It could be you, it could be Chargers, it could be Steelers, maybe Dolphins. Yeah. Maybe if you start throwing so many picks, like it could be a lot of people.
Yeah, because that it's a
Cincy is good too. Cincy is good too. Sorry, I cut you off.
We gotta talk about Daryl.
Cincy is good too.
I was trying to plot and scheme my way, but I lost my opportunity when I lost the tie.
But played Daryl.
Bro, if I had won that game versus Ty, the second game,
yeah.
I would have been playing Mark in the AFC Championship. If everything just goes according to but obviously the elephant in the room is Reggie not being there, and I think that's going to turn him up for season 3. I feel like that's like that. He might be looking at it as like that's the bowl that I never got to play in because I was out. So it's gonna be good. Like I'm looking forward to it. I think I can finally, say like this Houston team, who probably started out as like the worst team maybe in PS5 Madden history.
See, I was gonna say going back to Daryl. The thing with Daryl is, he's a good player, but like if he get more, in my opinion, if he gets more variety in like play calling and looks, he could probably be an AFC chip. I think
he could because his defense ain't bad. Like I mean,
he's blitz heavy.
He's blitz heavy.
Underslow guy.
Yeah, like he's blitz heavy. And I remember he played Chargers Mark, because that's the only relevant Mark in the league these days. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Talking about some when Mark, the other Chargers Mark, the good Mark, mentioned his game plan. Like, Mark Patriots, what you talking about? Which 3 wins? And you ain't get an MVP. So what are we talking about? Anyway. I hope I play him.
I'm curious to see what he does this season. He has to show up this season, right?
He has to show up
and win this season. He can't he's a good player. Like he's historically known for being a good competitive player, right?
There's not 6 players better than Mark when he wants to play.
Yeah.
in terms of results, like skill wise, he's still up there. But he ran. What did he run from? Is my question. What did he run from? Will ran him out the division before Will left. Now Mark is in the clear. And Mark Patriots just ran to the east to get run on by Brandon, Nick, and Manny. Like,
yeah.
What?
I mean, fucking B runs that division 2 years in a row. Won the division easy, I think, right?
Yeah. And I have to say, I'm. It's hard to say impressed when you throw 60 picks, but I'll say this: his cycle has. He's shown this cycle. I think he's better than maybe what people have given him credit for. Like that, it's not a team that you want to play. That Dolphins team, them boys.
The Dolphins team with so much speed.
Them boys.
I'm still kind of curious how he just thought to dive when he was playing me at the 1 yard line was going to win. I mean, I guess it was just like a brain fart, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think he probably just overthought it. Like he telegraphed the hell out of whatever his next move was probably going to be. But no, he's good. Like he's a matchup problem. I say that. Like that's a matchup problem. And I mean he beat Reggie, didn't he? Last season?
I think he did.
Yeah, he beat Reggie. You and him were going back and forth. I'm like, if he's another one. He and Chargers Mark are to an extent like one and the same in that if they can just cut the mistakes down, they're gonna be an issue to deal with. I preferably not have to play Miami or the Chargers, but if it happens, it happens. But yeah, that Dolphins team, them boys loaded, and he just keep it coming on with Morales and the receivers, and that got another first round pick, and God knows what superstar goes to Miami next. Like I'm trying to remember the name of his quarterback before he changed it. It was Malcolm.
I don't remember what his name was.
Brewer? Is that
his name now? Is Deuce Atkinson.
Yeah, it's Deuce Atkinson now. Shout out to Dolphins B also. I see that single bar. That's old school. I like it. That boy, man.
Yeah, that shit was so random when I seen that shit.
I love it. Like the only thing I didn't like was that both of our rookie quarterbacks. I mean, this is out. This is in the past now. But both our rookie quarterbacks had number 2, so I always felt I was like, damn, I need my quarterback to have his own identity. But now we got an Ohio State Buckeye in the house. I'm getting my MVP. I'm letting y'all know now. I'm getting that MVP, bro. Like
a lot of proclamations being made today. Super Bowl appearance and MVP. I said a lot of proclamations being made today. Super Bowl appearance and MVP.
Good. Like I'm feeling good. I've had time to just let the air out of the balloon a little bit, kind of just sit back and really just number one, have time. So shout out to the commissioners for allowing me to get my players signed, because it's been a wild few weeks. It's really been a wild few weeks. But
Nick was saying you finessed some shit or something. You finessed the free agency or something. He was telling me.
I finished the trade.
You finessed the free agency. He was telling me or something like that.
Oh, I don't think what happened to it? What was said?
He was saying something about you finessed the free agency in a way that made it benefit you, because I guess you didn't sign your players, right? That's what it was. You didn't sign a lot of your players. Isn't that what it was?
Well, the problem was like there was some like the guys. Some of the guys I wanted I was able to sign early, but like CJ Gardner-Johnson. Like those types, like the big names, the players like that I signed last free agency and like wanted to keep around for another year, like the Marcus Peters and all that. Yeah, some of them didn't have options, like they just didn't come up on the board at all. And then, but that's not even like the main part. The main part was that this is how I saw it. So, and this West Coast thing is a problem, not a problem, but you got to navigate different. So I had to go to work for Selection Sunday in office last week, and well, I guess a few days ago, and never have I ever recalled us bringing up the option of the draft and then drafting the same day. So I was like,
Mm.
and I know Chris had mentioned like there would be like a chance of an accelerated schedule, but when I saw all that was going on from my desk, I was like, um, if I knew if we had like concrete discussions and there was like an actual plan laid out before, I would have had that thing in rest mode and I could have done whatever I need to do from work rather than like being like borderline blindsided about a conversation.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
so that was the main thing. Like, I wasn't necessarily I mean I had money. Like I wasn't letting the guys I wanted to get away. But at the same time I knew like when that was going on Sunday, like it happened after y'all game because I didn't watch the game because I was working. So I was like,
Mhm.
you mean like noon or something like that out here? It was just like, ain't no way we finna. Jeremy brings up this poll, kind of like, just
he,
just
de-
in jest, right? Just in
he
fun.
he definitely
And
wanted to
ain't
start some
no,
chaos.
and it's like this is the thing. He been around long enough to know, and everybody knows this. If you give this group of players the option of today, they're gonna. I saw that and bro, my blood was boiling. I said, yo, like if I do not get a chance to participate, I will happily sit out so long.
But
And
it's
maybe
kind of it's kind of
I just
ironic
be on the
now.
show talking to various people until then. But I was ready to be like, all right, I'll holler at y'all in August, Houston or Carolina or wherever. But luckily that didn't happen though. So all is well. All is good.
Kind of ironic now, no, though, because you were voting to not draft that day, and now you're not going to draft today because you're going to the
Right,
game.
because that was yeah, so like but and going way back, I don't think I answered your question about Mays in the trade. That trade, there were no plans to trade. Like I was going in there, I was set to have like a first round pick, all that. But when I just looked in the chat and I saw, it was like, and he was like, going off about Fields and just how like he was like underthrowing stuff, I guess, versus you, and how like like I'm willing to trade him. And the second I saw Steve inquire, I said, "Oh no, no, no."
So who inquired?
C's had a general brief like inquiry about Fields. So I was like,
Mm.
nah, this is my one probably this cycle to get an X factor, and it's at quarterback. I can't wait.
Did you use the draft calculator to like balance it out, or like you just told him you just gave
Oh
him the
yeah,
pick?
I gave him the official trade was so he sent me Fields, and for me to make up for like the gap in development, I sent my first rounder this year, and I gave Mays like a couple options, and we came to an agreement. So it was a very easy process. But yeah, my quarterback obviously, um, first rounder this year and a second next. But I was prepared if I needed to. I was prepared to come up off of both first because I just know what Justin Fields is about to do for this team. I
Mm.
did,
You
I
think
ain't
he's
feel
that
like
much
this,
better? You think
huh?
he's that much better than a rookie, though? Honestly, because I
Well,
feel like their attributes are kind of similar when you look at
they
it.
are. They're very similar, but it's the development for me. It's,
True, that's true.
I'm
Let
at
him
that,
start at X Factor.
and we talking. I can't say too much because I don't even know who the weak point opponent is, but I'm gonna just say this. I adapted on defense last season. I'm finna adapt to offense like a mother sucker this year. Woo! I can't wait.
I think week one starts tonight after the
Yeah.
draft.
And I'm gonna just hopefully I mean I might be at the game by the time I
Yeah.
see who my week one opponent is. But hey, whoever the week one opponent is, we can run it tomorrow. I got all day. Catch it right here in the H Town. You ready? I'm telling you right now. Hold on, because the feeling that Justin is bringing.
Mm.
This is like
Yeah, it's
He
different.
had Cam again. I'm
It's
like,
definitely different. It's definitely different. When you start looking at
man,
the abilities you can put on them and like the different like stuff like
man,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I hope people have fun. All this nonsense finna stop now. Like,
Right.
I can't wait. I can't. And Mark, I mean, not Charles, Mark, Patriots, Mark, the guy that's been perpetually talking underwater because he ain't been over 500 since 2022. It is 2023 now. Like, how is it that Marcus had Patriots, Mark? How is it that Patriots, Mark, has had two teams and he got as many playoff appearances, playoff wins as my little lowly Houston Texans? Some goat, right? Come on, man. Well, I see you. I see you. I hope they send me to New England. I pray they send me to New England. I want you to be the weak one opponent. I promise you, I'm gonna make it feel like old times in here. Please, Madden, bring me the Patriots. Oh man, I can't wear white at home from now on like I used to do in Carolina. We about to just bring it all back. It's time.
Okay. Yeah, just Justin Fields restoring that energy for Houston.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Like the beginning of these seasons is going to be, it's the best thing. I'm looking forward to it. Like, to bring it back to you though. Like, what? I mean, you got obviously a shot at a 3P here, but like what's left for you as far as like this Madden and in future Maddens? Like, what's on the agenda now?
That's a good question, actually.
Because I
I
have a
definitely
suggestion, or I have like a maybe not an idea per se, but I have like an angle that I think might be where you could possibly be headed.
I think there's like two things. I definitely want to try to get the 3P for sure.
Yeah.
I'm about to binge Last Dance to like get me in that mood right quick. To, like figure out like I got all these players left on like a little bit of contracts and shit like that, you know. And I'm not sure we'll have two more seasons, honestly. I hope we do.
I think that enough for two. I was asking about it too, and I was like, but from the gauge of responses that I saw when I asked about it, because I had to ask like that was going to affect whoever I traded for. Like I was like, I'm gonna dump all these picks if we only got one more left, but since we got two, we good. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I think a lot of people are engaged in wanting to play a fourth one too. So that's
okay.
good.
So that's the main thing. Try to go for the 3P. But it might be hard just because I'm gonna be traveling next week, like next Saturday, the following Saturday.
Mm.
I'm miss like maybe 3 games or so like that, so I could be around the 8 more a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I mean, as soon as I come back, I'll get back in, you know what I mean, and get right back to it and try with another run for. But beyond this season, something I would kind of want to do would go back, pick the Commanders. I think it would be kind of fun to play with the Commanders just on some I don't know. Even if I got a high pick next year, maybe I might pick the Commanders still. Just to see if I can win a chip for DC or some shit.
See, and that's what I was going to say. Like clearly, you verified how good you are. Like, ain't no doubt about it. You mentioned the top names in this league at this point in time. We're not getting past a handful without your name being mentioned.
Facts.
100%. But now, like, I think that's probably like the only real next step for you to take. Like, because it's not like you're like Steelers B or like myself, where if our team is there, we're taking them 100% no matter pick number 1 or pick number 32. Like that's where we're going. Like
his loyalty is crazy.
Yeah. I think now it's just like, but also this has to happen because I had a crazy run of early picks in this league. I've hit 5, 9, 9, 5, 2.
Wow. But Carolina was probably good for a lot of those, though.
Huh?
I said Carolina was probably good for a lot of those picks.
Yeah, because the one year. Huh. All right, cool. The one year that I didn't have Carolina before this year, Flash took him at like number like 6 or something, coming off the Super Bowl 50 loss to Denver. So, but I would have, but I also took Carolina at number 28 in Madden 20 for Madden 21. And I'm so mad that my PS4 at the time was acting crazy, not accepting the game, because I felt like that was going to be a Super Bowl year. But
yeah, that one where you lost like 9-7 or some shit, like some random score, or 9-6 maybe.
that like, I can deal with any of the other ones. That 9-7, that was the best defensive game I have ever played. And I've held players to 55 yards with
that's crazy.
Yeah, like I've done some things, but that one was like, it was nothing more I could do. And at that point, it's like that was the loss that just like allowed me to let go of all the other ones. It's like, you know what? At this point in time, because I mean, for being honest, maybe my best chances have passed me by. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. A lot of it depends on the draw, but I'm going Carolina either way. So it kind of doesn't change much with me. Like I know kind of where I'm gonna be, how good I'm gonna be, all that. But at this point in time now, again, Houston coming at the right time, because now I just go out there and do what I can do, and wherever the chips falls is where they fall. But I think for you, that's where like the only thing left is like, you've had. I mean, Houston is an exception, but I also don't remember much of Madden 21 because I didn't play much of Madden 21. But I would say that's probably like the next step. Like we've seen how good you are. Like you've been the Packers good team, Bucks good team, and you've gotten 2 or 1 a Super Bowl with both. So you verified. But it's just like now, what's the level of greatness? Like now, suddenly it's like with more of your body of work being like this, those guys historically at the top, like maybe they're within reach. You already got 2 chips. Sure. I mean, May's got like 11 or 12 or however, but still, like after that, like everybody's within reach. You pass people in terms of like the quote unquote all-time rankings, like
that's how I feel always.
Yeah, it's like the coaches menu or like the franchise menu. They have like the coaches and they rank them. Like, right? Like, I mean, I have to put you. You've won more in less time than me, so I have to put you above me, like as far as a historical, which I separated from like head to head. But historically, in the annals of it, past me. And if you pass me with no rings, you pass all the guys with 1 ring.
That's true.
I think you pass like the Ties of the world, and I think
how many does Ty have?
Ty like but 2, 3, 2.
Really?
I think. Wait. He has 2. I know for sure. Okay. It might be a 3rd in there, but I don't know.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I think the only people you really trailing for real, as I gotta get on out of here, but I think the only people you trailing for real is Mays, David, possibly Chris, but depending on how this division with you and him keep playing out, you might maybe pass that. Anybody else, it's hard to make a case that goes towards that person versus you.
That's a fact. I feel like I'm in the top. I know you gotta go.
Oh yeah, I'm just putting the top on this coffin and we about to get up out of here. But you're not go ahead though. You can close it out. I'm just wrapping up.
I was gonna say, I feel like now you can't deny like my legacy in the league and that, and like going back, like winning championships is one thing, but going back to back in the same season, like in the same cycle, whatever, is like that's hard. Like that's not many people have not done that. You know what I mean? Not even in the NFL, so many people have done that shit for real. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like just do that shit was inspiring. You know what I mean? So I get the 3-peat.
Oh man,
only one team ever. Yeah. You gotta look at me really differently. You know what I'm saying? You might have talked me top 2, not 2 talk. You know what I mean? So, but it'll be interesting as we move forward. I'm still fairly new in the league. I'm just
you got a lot of time.
Keep winning and whatnot. Good energy, good vibes.
You still fresh in the game. Like you got time and yeah, that's what I can see, man. Season 1 about to start soon. The draft is happening, 8 minutes? I'm about to go up out of here. But again, long overdue. I'm kind of glad now in the here and now that we didn't do the first interview because you doubled your ring count. And now we got to do it too. I gotta say, I personally gotta see to it that you don't get 3 because you're gonna be playing an AFC team in the bowl. And I hope it's me. But either way, man, congrats on the chips. Certified player out here, man. And during this season, good luck to all the players in this season. About to draft well, draft accordingly. Mark Patriots, I'm on your ass. Week 1. I pray they send me to Foxborough week 1. But for everybody else, have a great night. We gotta get up on out of here. That's a 2-time champion, Mr. Mikey L himself. Shout out to the Bullets, man. You know, 1 time for the city. You know, H-Town, Carolina, DC. Find me wherever. Yeah, we out of here, man. Nike Tusk.
I'll see you, bro. Enjoy the game.
Oh, appreciate it.
All right.